light. Burn them.
Magic unleashed!
Now! Time to score a kill!
Fist of Fury! Can't block this! There's its weak spot!
The sun shines bright.
Get crushed!
Watch this.
Enough! Can't block this! One more!
Like fire with fire.
Behold! Chew on this! Just for you!
Brains over brawn.
What makes a business was definitely not when it starts. It's who starts it.
Each of us has a purpose. We are destined to do something meaningful. What do you think a private Christian education looks like? GCU offers over 175 high-quality online programs. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu.
Good morning, sunshine. This is gonna be a great workout. We have some contenders today. Come on, let's work.
Show me what you got!
We're going to run out of PPE, and I'm saying, well, how do we do this? We just got to get the patient to self-collect the specimen. This test is meant for our medical assistants, our nurses, and our providers to be safer.
Mary W. Jackson is a hidden figure no more. NASA announced today it is honoring the agency's first African-American female engineer by nothing less than renaming its D.C. headquarters building after her. Jackson was a mathematician by training, an aerospace engineer. She overcame racial and gender discrimination in the 1950s, at first working in a segregated wing of the agency. Later worked to promote equal opportunity hiring within the agency. In the end, it was her brains and ability that carried the day. She was among the engineers they called the human computers. John Glenn certainly knew who she was because her work was integral to getting our astronauts into space. In fact, prior to his Friendship 7 flight into orbit, he requested that she double-check the math that was being spit out by the actual computers. But her story and those of her colleagues went largely unknown until the best-selling book and Oscar-nominated film, Hidden Figures. Jackson passed away in '05. She was posthumously awarded the Congressional Gold Medal last year, and now this honor from NASA. Coming up after our final break, stop, children, what's that sound? Oh, it's just a Texas Republican congressman.
One more!
Love. It's what we've always said makes Subaru, Subaru. And right now, love is more important than ever. In response to COVID-19, Subaru and our retailers are donating 50 million meals to Feeding America to help feed those who now need our help. It's all part of our commitment to our communities through Subaru Loves to Help. Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
For people living with HIV, keep being you and ask your doctor about Biktarvy. Biktarvy is a complete one-pill, once-a-day treatment used for HIV in certain adults. It's not a cure, but with one small pill, Biktarvy fights HIV to help you get to and stay undetectable. That's when the amount of virus is so low, it cannot be measured by a lab test. Research shows people who take HIV treatment every day and get to and stay undetectable can no longer transmit HIV through sex.
Serious side effects can occur, including kidney problems and kidney failure. Rare, life-threatening side effects include a buildup of lactic acid and liver problems. Do not take Biktarvy if you take dofetilide or rifampin. Tell your doctor about all the medicines and supplements you take if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, or if you have kidney or liver problems, including hepatitis. If you have hepatitis B, do not stop taking Biktarvy without talking to your doctor. Common side effects were diarrhea, nausea, and headache.
If you're living with HIV, keep loving who you are and ask your doctor if Biktarvy is right for you.
The Tempur-Pedic Breeze makes sleep feel cool because the Tempur Breeze transfers heat away from your body, so you feel cool night after night. During the Tempur-Pedic Summer of Sleep, save $500 on all Tempur Breeze mattresses.
Safe drivers save 40%. Guys.
Safe drivers save 40%.
Safe drivers save 40%.
Safe drivers save 40%.
That's safe drivers save 40%.
It is. That's safe drivers save 40%.
It's right there.
It's him.
Safe drivers do save 40%. Click or call for a quote today.
The calming scent of lavender by Downy Infusions Calm. Laundry isn't done until it's done with Downy.
Last thing before we go is this. Texas Republican Congressman Louis Gohmert, if there's anything he's not willing to tackle in order to support the cause or the president he has pledged himself to, we haven't found it. He has proven his willingness to say anything in support of Trump, and today he proved his willingness to do anything. It came during testimony that the Trump Republicans did not like. Former Deputy Attorney General Donald Ayre, who worked under 2 Republican presidents, starting with Bush 41, he was winding up his testimony calling Attorney General Barr the greatest threat in his lifetime to the rule of law. That's when Louis Gohmert went to work. Listen for what sounds like carpentry going on in the background.
Barr's own role in the events in Lafayette Park come quickly to mind. So does his practice of regularly shrouding himself in the rhetoric and trappings of the rule of law, even as he desecrates and undermines the institutions that make it possible.
Let's be clear. Louis Gohmert didn't like the testimony, thought it'd gone too long, thought the chairman was being mean. That would be the mask-challenged Jerry Nadler of New York, who, let's be clear, has been publicly schooled by the crafty Republicans on his committee before. Today, he had his hands full with the tapping the microphone Texas congressman. And room cold and suppressed the coronavirus, Louis Gohmert, unconcerned about the dire testimony they were hearing about our rule of law, showed that maturity and decorum are for those less loyal to Donald Trump and Trumpism.
Room, as though the current incumbent
Regular order. The witness will conclude.
Regular order, great.
We're way beyond regular order.
The witness will continue.
Can I have one more sentence here?
By all means.
Okay. But to me, Barr's crowning dishonesty is the portrait of Edward Levy that a
Mr.
recent
Chairman, I would
New York
ask
Times
that the sergeant at arms be called upon to stop the disruption of this meeting. I can't hear this witness. This is a very important witness.
Yeah, well, he's way beyond
And the chair has
And if
the
there are no
authority-
rules about when
the chair
people
has the
can talk,
authority to
there's no rules about when you can make noise.
The gentleman makes the...
Your House of Representatives at work to take us off the air this evening, and that is our broadcast for a Wednesday night. Thank you so very much for being here with us. On behalf of everybody at the networks of NBC News, good night.
I was initially scheduled to have today off from work. There is a smallmouth bass somewhere in range of my canoe that I urgently need to meet, and soon, if I'm going to maintain my good nature and sanity for much longer. But I don't have the day off today, as it turns out, because when a news day like this rolls around, the day off must wait some other time, not today, not when today was like this.
Point of
Last
parliamentary
Friday,
inquiry.
without explanation, Attorney General William Barr announced that Jeffrey Berman, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, was, quote, stepping down, unquote. This was, of course, untrue. Mr. Berman had not resigned. The work of Mr. Berman's office has included a number of criminal investigations aimed at individuals close to President Trump. Among them, the president's attorney, Michael Cohen, the president's inaugural committee, and Rudy Giuliani, the president's current counsel, campaign advisor, and direct line to Kiev. The effort to remove Mr. Berman is part of a clear and dangerous pattern of conduct that began when Mr. Barr took office and continues to this day. Mr. Barr's actions make clear that in his Department of Justice, the president's allies get special treatment. The president's enemies, real and imagined, are targeted for extra scrutiny, and the needs of the American people and the needs of justice are generally ignored. Early this year, after the president's associate Roger Stone was convicted of obstructing justice, Mr. Barr overruled his career prosecutors and recommended a lighter sentence for President Trump's friend. In May, Mr. Barr abruptly reversed course on the prosecution of Michael Flynn, the president's former national security advisor, who pled guilty to lying to the FBI about his conversations with the Russian ambassador. Once again, the president tweeted his feelings about the case. Once again, Mr. Barr reached into the proceedings to understand that these are merely the symptoms of an underlying disease. The sickness that we must address is Mr. Barr's use of the Department of Justice as a weapon to serve the president's petty private interests. Our witnesses today will speak to the extremes to which Mr. Barr has reached to carry out the president's bidding. I'm especially grateful to Mr. Elias and Mr. Zelensky, who are current department employees, for their bravery in appearing before the committee. This administration has a record of witness intimidation, and I have no doubt that they will try to exact a price for your testimony. But you are patriots, and you have done your duty here today. It gives me hope for what may come at the Department of Justice when Bill Barr is finally removed.
When Bill Barr is finally removed. Congressman Jerry Nadler, the head of the Judiciary Committee, talking about the prospective removal of Bill Barr from office. He did say to reporters today that it was possible that his committee would pursue impeachment of Attorney General William Barr. Mr. Nadler also today predicting that the whistleblowers who came forward today to name names and make serious accusations about what President Trump and Attorney General Barr have been doing to the Justice Department and the rule of law. Congressman Nadler predicting out loud today that they will be retaliated against by the administration for coming forward today as whistleblowers. We shall see. But John Elias did testify today about the Attorney General ordering what the department believed were frivolous and uncalled for investigations of companies and other entities targeted by the president for political reasons. And Aaron Zelinsky did testify today about interference from on high into the sentencing for Roger Stone because of Roger Stone's association with the president.
I was told that the acting U.S. attorney was giving Stone a break because he was afraid of the President of the United States.
Aaron Zelinsky, it should also be noted, today named names of more senior people at the Justice Department who he says received the political pressure to botch the Roger Stone sentencing and who discussed it at the highest levels, including with the Attorney General. It's important that Aaron Zelinsky named those names today because it gives us a sense of what might come next in this investigation into what has happened at the Justice Department. As Kyle Cheney at Politico.com today put it, quote, a federal prosecutor today offered lawmakers a roadmap to investigate alleged political interference in the sentencing of Roger Stone. Aaron Zelinsky, one of 4 lead prosecutors in the Stone case, told the House that senior officials, including the head of the Justice Department's Public Corruption Unit, freely discussed concerns that they were being pressured to go easy on Roger Stone during sentencing.
Really going? It's not
In other words, thanks to Aaron Zelinsky coming forward, this whistleblower, and not only saying what he knew, but naming names, other people in the department currently serving who know more about what happened. Because of that, Congress now knows who to subpoena to try to fully document these allegations of the Attorney General and potentially even the President intervening in a criminal case to help the President's friend.
You think I'll get all
So,
sympathetic
as remarkable
for
as
what
this
you
hearing
old
and these
man's going
whistleblowers testifying were today, the bottom line of this, especially after what Zelinsky said, is, hey, Congress, go get it. Here's where to look. Here's who you need to talk to next. So that was just remarkable today. And it was everything you'd expect, this contentious, bickering, sniping hearing among members of the committee. One Republican member of the committee was drumming his hands loudly on the table to try to drown out some of the witness testimony. Even the Republicans' own witness at this hearing today, former Attorney General Michael Mukasey, admitted under questioning today that, in his words, maybe the president has intervened in federal sentencing procedures to help his friends. He said maybe. He was there as the Republicans' witness, but yeah, maybe the president has done that. It's just bizarre. And this intense and bizarre hearing today happened within hours of Bill Barr's Justice Department telling a federal court that they'd be fine with it if Roger Stone doesn't report to prison next week to start his sentence and instead puts off his surrender date until this fall. The federal judge in the Roger Stone case is now demanding an explanation of that stance from the Justice Department by tomorrow. The hearing today also happened within hours of 2 conservative judges on a federal appeals court ruling that the judge in the Mike Flynn case has to go along with Attorney General Bill Barr wanting to drop that prosecution of Mike Flynn, despite the fact that Flynn pled guilty. Even if the judge has reason to believe the prosecution of Mike Flynn was dropped for a corrupt reason or even for potentially an illegal reason, these 2 conservative judges on that appeals court ruled that the judge in the Flynn case has to go along with it anyway. He can't even inquire as to what made the Justice Department drop that prosecution. Remarkable ruling from that appeals court today. Very, very controversial. We're basically counting down now, waiting to see if that ruling is going to be appealed, including potentially to the Supreme Court, which would be quite a dramatic turn. I should also mention, you may remember we had Congressman Jerry Nadler on the show here on Monday night. That's when he said in the interview that he did here that he was preparing a subpoena for Attorney General William Barr himself to come testify on these issues. Well, now we've learned that the morning after Jerry Nadler did that interview here on Monday night, yesterday morning, the Justice Department called up Jerry Nadler's committee and, in fact, scheduled a date for William Barr to come in and voluntarily testify, so as to avoid the planned subpoena that Jerry Nadler told us about here on Monday night. Bill Barr really doesn't want to be subpoenaed, so he's going to come in next month for voluntary testimony. You know, since he has been Attorney General, Bill Barr has never once testified to the House, but now he says he will. Next month. We'll see. And we'll see how far this investigation into his alleged political interference in individual federal criminal cases to benefit the president's friends, we'll see how far that investigation has gotten by the time Bill Barr is due in that seat. Meanwhile, the virological implosion continues. Here's how the epidemic is going right now in some of our closest allies around the world. Italy in the upper left. That's Germany in the upper right. That is Spain in the lower left. All countries that got hit good and hard, good and early, just like we did. Obviously, allies of ours, industrialized democratic countries, they've all just had a heck of a go with it. But now here's us. That is what an abject total failure our response has been under this administration. Look at us compared to Italy, Germany, Spain, these countries that were so hard hit, that were hard hit at a time that gave us warning that it was coming. So we had an advantage. We had prep time over those European countries. But that's how disastrously poorly managed our epidemic has been, and that's why it's the worst in the world, and that's why there are more dead Americans than dead citizens of any other country globally because of this coronavirus. That has been the fault. That is what it looks like when you have a failed national response to a public health crisis like this. And of course, we Americans are the ones who are paying the price for it. Over 121,000 Americans dead as of tonight. And now, as of tonight, we've got the highest rise in case numbers we have ever seen in a single day in the United States throughout the course of the epidemic. The previous record for the largest number of new infections reported in one day had been set back in late April 25th. Well, tonight, we blew through that with over 36,000 new infections reported as of 6 p.m. today. And, you know, it was probably inevitable that we would hit this new national benchmark given the large number of states and the large number of large states that keep reporting record numbers of new infections on their own. I mean, the three most populous states in the country are California, Texas, and Florida, right? Well, California, Texas, and Florida all just reported record new numbers of new coronavirus cases today. California hit a record number of new cases, more than 4,500 new infections in one day on Sunday. Then on Monday, they topped 5,000 new infections. Then on Tuesday, more than 6,000 new infections. Now today, more than 7,000 new infections just in California alone. In Florida, they topped more than 5,500 newly reported infections today. It's the highest number they've ever hit. The state of Florida still refuses to compile hospitalization numbers in any useful statewide format. But the Orlando Sentinel reports today, based on communications with individual hospitals, that at least a half dozen hospitals in South Florida have completely filled their ICU wards already. They are already at capacity. At Coral Gables Hospital and Homestead Hospital in Miami-Dade County, Broward Health North in Broward County, and at least 3 hospitals in Palm Beach County, Lakeside Medical Center, Bethesda Medical Center West, and St. Mary's Medical Center. Again, all those last 3 in Palm Beach County, Florida. All 6 of those hospitals in South Florida say they have 0 ICU beds available. They are at capacity, while the state of Florida continues to hit record numbers every day. So California blowing through by huge numbers its record case numbers every day for the last few days now. Florida starting to do the same with ICU beds already maxed out in multiple hospitals. And that's the same situation we've got going on now in Texas as well.
My first message to the public that's watching this is people must know the facts, and those the facts are that COVID-19 is expanding far faster and far wider than at any time during the pandemic in Texas, and that is exactly why we are having to take additional measures. So we'll tell you that there is a massive outbreak of COVID-19 across the state of Texas. Today we will have more than 5,000 people test positive once again, as well as have more than 4,000 people hospitalized because of it.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott doing multiple local news interviews now as his state tops 5,000 new cases for the 2nd straight day. The situation in Texas is quite worrying right now. You can tell that in part because suddenly the state's governor is no longer doing his Mike Pence impression, right, and saying everything's fine. You do now have the governor out there ahead of the official release of these numbers each day, going out and warning news outlets around the country, these terrible numbers are coming, this is a big deal. I mentioned Mike Pence. Let me actually just say while I'm on the subject, just a little sidebar here. Vice President Mike Pence today really did do a lunch with Republican senators about coronavirus, where he told Republican senators that they should accentuate the positive. They should look on the bright side. According to the Washington Post, Vice President Pence told Republican senators today to, quote, focus on encouraging signs right now. That's the person who was supposed to be running the White House coronavirus response. We hit the largest number of new infections we have ever had as a country today. On that day, he's telling Republican senators at a lunch, "Smiles, everyone, smiles. Say it's fine." In the real world, though, the governor of Texas, the very Trumpy governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is doing local news interviews every day now, warning Texans about the massive epidemic they've got now and how they've got to do something to turn this around. Hospitalizations in the state of Texas have more than doubled since the beginning of June. We're still in June. Montgomery County, Texas, just north of Houston, just announced that they think they're running out of hospital beds so quickly that the county is purchasing a, quote, portable shelter in which they're going to build out another 75 hospital beds for that county in Texas. The Houston situation is dire overall. 97% of ICU beds full in Houston. Houston ICUs at 97% capacity as Texas coronavirus cases break records. Houston is one of the biggest cities in the country. Population of millions. Their ICUs are full now. We're going to talk with the top elected official in Houston, Harris County Executive Lena Hidalgo, in just a moment about that. She has been warning about this moment coming. It has arrived. We're going to speak with her live from Houston in just a moment. But yeah, when the three most populous states in the country are thundering through their case number records, just blowing them away now day after day, the case numbers in the country are going to start breaking records too. The question is when it slows down. Why it might. It's not just the big states, though. I mean, Oklahoma just hit a new record again today. They keep doing that. This is Tulsa. Look, this is what the new record number of cases in Tulsa, Oklahoma looked like today. It's where the president held his rally this weekend. North Carolina and Arizona both hit hospitalization records in the past couple of days. Arizona statewide is 88% full in terms of its ICU beds. North Carolina says they're going to pause their reopening and they're going to start requiring face masks statewide now in public. Tonight at midnight, New Jersey, Connecticut, and New York will start restricting travelers from other U.S. states that have 10% positivity rates in their testing. That means travelers or returning residents coming from these 9 states will have to quarantine for 14 days if they want to come to the tri-state area. The initial list of states that'll be affected by this quarantine ban are Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Utah, Texas, Washington State. Those are the states that currently meet the criteria for a mandatory quarantine if you want to come to New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut. Even if you are a resident of New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut, if you have been staying or visiting any of those states, when you come home, you will have to quarantine for 14 days. Now, we'll see how the enforcement of that goes. In New York or New Jersey or Connecticut, it's not clear how it will be enforced, but at least attempts to impose measures like this were probably inevitable, as some states started to handle this and lots of states didn't. It's inevitable that some states that are doing relatively okay are going to band together to try to make policy together if the federal government is just not going to work on this thing, right? Like, we're the United States for a reason. We thought that banding together as 50 states and doing stuff as a country would be a good idea for us, not only in the world, but for us in our individual states. If the federal government is not going to work on this thing that has killed 121,000 Americans in 16 weeks with no signs of stopping, while we are breaking new records all over the country, including nationwide right now, if the federal government is just not going to work on it, then we'll form new, smaller subgroups of United States to try to work on it together, since the federal government is just abandoning ship. So you've got the tri-state area that went through hell and high water and is coming out of it and has bent their curve all the way down. You see those states now banding together and saying, well, we're going to try to protect ourselves from the states where this thing is out of control. Today in Virginia, for example, it looks like that's going to be the first state in the country to issue their own statewide binding workplace safety rules for what companies have to do to keep workers safe from coronavirus in the workplace. It is really weird. It's really odd that an individual state is trying to do this, since this is the sort of thing that the federal government does. The Occupational Safety and Health Association, Safety and Health Administration in the federal government is in charge of doing this. But in the Trump administration, they're just not. They're just not working on it at all. And since the federal government isn't doing anything at all on that score, while lots and lots of people are going back to work in the face of the threat of getting infected at work, well, yeah, states are going to have to start making up these rules themselves, for themselves, because the president has just decided that the federal government won't do it.
I don't understand.
So,
why plan all
in
this
ways
just
large
to
and
kill
small,
me?
the failure of the federal government to address the coronavirus disaster will start to pull the states apart from one another and to pit the states against each other in some ways. And if we have good leadership in the states, we can all hope and pray that the states will try to work together cooperatively and collectively to advance their mutual interests. But ultimately, what we're going to have happen here is confrontation and conflict and competition, where states feel like they've got to look out for their interests against other states.
Sarah.
And the states will dislocate and pull apart like that because of the failure effort. Mike Pence with Republican senators today being like, seems fine to me, accentuate the positive. So there's a lot going on. It's at least all on a theme, you know, it's all dystopia. It's all on the theme of how disastrously bad American governance, perhaps the worst American governance in the history of this country, how that manifests in terms of the rule of law, in terms of the health and safety of the people, in terms of the blatant la-la land gaslighting, distraction, circus, and nonsense from the people who are supposed to be leading this great country in this dark time. So yes, the fishing should wait for at least another day or so. We've got lots to get to tonight. Stay with us. We're off to the city of Houston, Texas, next.
And that protects our customers 24/7.
Sorry I'm late, everybody, and apologies for my appearance.
You look fine. We were just talking about how
I look like a wanted poster. I didn't have time to get my beard routine in this morning, so...
What beard routine?
Well, the key is maple nectar. Gives it that sheen.
Is there something wrong with my screen?
Jamie, what are you talking about?
You're right, Alan. We should be talking about bundling home and auto with Progressive, not this luscious mane of mine.
I'll be the last one.
Jamie, do you know what a beard is?
Lend you.
At T-Mobile, you don't have to choose between a great network and the best prices. We give you both. Switch your family from AT&T or Verizon to T-Mobile, and you will save up to 50% off your current service and smartphones. 50%! With 3 of our lines of essentials with unlimited talk, text, and data. All on a network built with our best signals for coverage. And keep your current phones. We'll pay them off up to $450 each. Now get an amazing network for an amazing price. Only at T-Mobile.
And much, much more. The first ever GLB. Get 0% APR financing up to 36 months on most models and 90 days first payment deferral on any loan.
When you think of a bank, you think of people in a place. But when you have the Chase mobile app, your bank can be virtually any place. So when you get a check, you can deposit it from here. And you can see your transactions and check your balance from here. You can detect suspicious activity on your account from here. And you can pay your friends back from here. So when someone asks you, where's your bank? You can tell them, here's my bank. Or, here's my bank. Or, here's my bank. Because if you download and use the Chase mobile app, your bank is virtually any place. So visit chase.com/mobile.
Michael's lowest prices of the season sale. 70% off Maker must-haves now through June 27th. Save big on seasonal floral and decor. Plus storage, select summer toys, and more. Shop our lowest prices from anywhere. Michael's, made by you.
Did you just reward yourself for spending a perfectly reasonable amount of time on the couch with tacos from Grubhub? Grubhub's gonna reward you for that with a $5 off perk. Hey.
What makes a business is definitely not when it starts. It's who starts it.
Sarah is quite smitten with you. To Lord Chaos, that makes you a very unwanted rival in the hub.
Come on, let's work. Has feelings for me?
Show me what you got.
Even if that's true. Tell me one thing, please. Why did Mid have to die?
Explore creative
Your
videos
brother
on
realized what
intersectionality
was happening.
and learn about the
He could
origins
see
of
that
the
all your opponents
LGBTQ
were
plus
holding
civil
back.
rights movement.
You couldn't lose. They were letting
YouTube.com/YouTube.
So that Chaos could face me in the final battle, so he could end me himself. Why kill Mid when things were going their way? It makes no sense.
So that the ruse would not be discovered. That is what the story had to be.
A country reeling from a pandemic and racial injustice. The story changes hourly. The public outcry over George Floyd's death has ignited debate and action on police reform. It's the 11th hour.
Something so big.
You're watching MSNBC.
Has he no respect for
Already
anything at
today,
all? Who
we
does he think he is?
transferred a patient in, and immediately we had to intubate her.
He'll get his audience,
She's in her
but they'll
40s,
see him
and
at the end of the
it's very overwhelming to see. On top of the fact that when we came in this morning, we learned that one of our patients who've been here with us for a while passed last night. That's really sad. And then another patient coded that was able to make it, but then we're helping his family with some, saying goodbye issues, and it's not a normal goodbye. It's under mask and gown and PPE, and they get one person for 1 hour to say goodbye. It's just not natural to get to say goodbye in that way, and that's overwhelming. Also today, we're trying to prepare for this surge, and we're trying to find ways to be proactive because we want to have enough beds for our patients that need our help. So we're converting what we have had is our Zendian, which is a place for staff to sit and put their feet up for a minute and eat a meal in quiet without interruption. But they're going to have to convert these two joining rooms back to patient rooms. So I'm frantically trying to rearrange our supply room into our
your every move. Wintertime. One more. Read your every move. Just you wait. One more! I'll be the last man standing. You've no hope. Stay frosty. Let's try that again. Let's start playing serious. This is for you. once and you're dead. Watch this.
A toast to your bright future!
The dawn rises.
Get out of here!
Oh, there's its weak spot! The sun shines bright. Your will bent. Your body broken. One more! I'm not about to give up hope. Magic unleashed! Such power! Chew on this! No escape! Quell the darkness. All according to plan.
Then came the final match. My rage toward chaos had grown venomous and dark.
So that's when you became the Warrior of Light, when you defeated Chaos in the final battle.
No, it was not. At the time, my hatred for him hung too heavily upon my heart. A warrior of light must bring hope, but I brought nothing but despair and a terrible thirst for vengeance. Please forgive me. I must ask you go alone once more.
Yeah, planning on it.
Be wary of those under Chaos's sway. Beware his shadows.
read your every move! Fist of Fury! Fight fire with fire. Rest in peace!
Here I come.
Chew on this!
That's better. Should have stayed in the shadows.
Where's he gone now? He didn't skip town, did he?
He knows his number's up next.
Shouldn't have done his brother in, though. No ransom in that.
Ah, stuff it. Those were Lord Chaos's orders.
Our orders were to silence him, that's all. Don't get carried away and slaughter the older one, too.
Lord Chaos will take care of that himself. We'll just soften him up a bit.
Illuminate the battlefield.
It's you. I've got you in my sights. sun shines bright.
Can't block this!
You're looking good!
Just for you.
There's its weak
Hey,
spot!
let's decide this thing!
The dawn rises. I'm not about to give up hope. I will end you. Bathe in the power of the light.
Never done! True. My magic unleashed! Stay frosty!
You got this!
I'll break your spirit!
Such power.
That was impressive.
last man standing. That peak. One more! Taste my fist!
All you need is kill!
This is for you. There's its weak spot. That's the leap. One more. Let's try that again. You've no hope. Say goodbye!
When I'm done, no one will remember me.
Time to die! Game's over!
die? Wintertime. Just say the magic word. That's better. Second call. Dodge this! Ready to head to your promised land? Time to die! Game's over! I'll live enough for both of us. That's the leap! The sun shines bright. I'll break your spirit! Take that! Got you in my sights! Fight fire with fire. just as deadly as one more! Get out of here! Your will bent. Your body broken. One more! This is you. Enough! I'll break your spirit! Illuminate the battlefield. Taste my fist!
You're not tired.
Good heavens. Can you even hear what a racket you're making?
Hurry up! Don't let him get away!
Don't get ahead of yourselves. He's watching for us. We'll get beat taking him on one at a time.
Feels like we're the ones getting chased. No one told me he was that tough. What happened to the amateur who needed his fights fixed?
Voices down, gentlemen, please. You know all too well what will happen if you let slip that the matches were anything but a fair fight.
If we can't take him one-on-one, we'll swarm him. Quick, go get a few more bodies.
Yeah, strength in numbers.
Oh dear, you're bringing more brutes. More people to share in all the sordid details. I wonder how many Lord Chaos will need to silence when all this is through.
sun shines bright.
I'll break your spirit!
Don't get cocky.
There's its weak spot!
This isn't over.
Hey, let's decide this thing.
Cool off! Stay frosty!
Let's start playing serious. Magic is mine. Ready to die?
You're finished!
I'm done chasing shadows. You will lose. This isn't over.
Magic unleashed!
I'm not interested in you. Just you wait.
You keep on fighting, and I'll keep on cheering.
Come on! Go back to the land from whence you came. I'll be the last man standing. I can read your every move. One more. I will end you. Such power.
Please?
Light, burn them. Got you in my sights. Behold! I'll show them true. There's its weak spot! It's for you! Light, burn them. The sun shines bright. Your will bends. Your body.
Just how awesome are you?
Right. That'll do it. Let's go.
It's time for the final bout. Preparations. Hey, you're in pretty bad shape.
I'm ready. I'm ready to fight.
Can't block this! One more! Got you in my sights! Not this.
Come on,
This is the end of nothing.
I'll break your spirit! That's the lead! Let's start playing serious.
Victory is clear. Brains over brawn.
Hey!
The wounds that Lord Chaos suffered in the last bout were more grievous than first thought. He will bow out of the final. And so, that makes you the victor.
We have a winner!
What wounds? He suffered nothing. Tell him I'm coming for him.
Hey.
Are you now? Are you sure that's wise?
Just you wait. Taste my fist! Impossible.
No more messing
You'll
around.
regret that. Just for you. One more! Your will's bent. Your body's broken. I've got this. I'm not about to give up hope. Prepare to die! No escape! Don't get cocky. My power. Here I come. For you. Don't get cocky.
Give him one more for old time's sake. You in the zone yet?
Bathe in the power of the light. This should just be dead. There's the sweet spot. Light, burn them.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Sarah's wishes. What's that supposed to mean?
Poor, sweet Sarah went crying to Lord Chaos. She said she'd do whatever he wanted, so long as he pulled out of the final bout. It seemed she could not bear to see you killed. And those worthless idiots left you looking like something the cat dragged in. Hardly the right note to strike for our grand finale. Lord Chaos only stands to lose face, tormenting such a pitiful opponent. Wouldn't you agree? And you have the lovely Sarah and those simpering lackeys to thank for letting you escape with your life. If you have a message for her, anything at all, I'd be more than happy to pass it along in your stead.
No need. It's nothing to do with me.
So cold.
My brother lost his life in a senseless charade. A high farce that unraveled in the end for reasons even more senseless still. I lost my brother, my only kin. And for nothing. For a time, it was all I could do to question why I had suffered such cruel injustice. I was no warrior then. I was barely the shell of a man.
I think I know how you felt.
But life sometimes takes strange turns, as you will see. Now, let us forge onward.
Here I come. Cool off. Come on. I'll be the last man standing. Read your every move. Fist of Fury! Stay frosty! I've got you in my sights! Come on! There's its weak spot! You've no hope! That's the link! Get out of here!
Does it hurt anywhere?
just for you. One more! There's its weak spot! Your will bent, your body broken. Like fire with fire. Only battle with those you can beat.
My heart was a barren desert. Sarah, after all that, had agreed to marry Chaos. I understand why she did this. It was to save me. But the untimely death of my brother remained unresolved. Ironically, I heard that turn of events caused Chaos no small amount of grief as well.
Chaos? What cause could he have for grief? He instigated all this. Don't tell me he had regrets.
His reputation was in tatters. He had announced the competition with great fanfare, in the hopes of achieving a glorious victory over me. But it was all of it left unfinished. Soon enough, the rumors began to spread. On everyone's lips was word that Sarah's love was not Lord Chaos at all. Her true love was for another, the town's top swordsman. Chaos had conceived of his competition in jealousy, they said. And when he attempted to slay the swordsman through underhanded means, his scheme fell into pieces.
Which is true.
Yes. It seems that someone who knew what had happened let slip the truth. People were laughing behind Chaos's back, which actually served to safeguard me after a fashion.
Right, of course. If anything happened to you, everyone would think Chaos was behind it. He tied his own hands.
The townspeople, Chaos's own subjects, ridiculed him for his failure. And in time, he came to hate them for it. All of them.
lose. That's better.
One more!
I pity you.
Can't block this! I'll be the last man standing.
You got this!
Let's start playing serious. Magic is mine.
No escape! Blink once and you're dead. One more! Read your every move! This is for you! I'll break your spirit!
Time to win a little more!
Fist of Fury! There's its weak spot!
Light, burn them.
A toast to your bright future!
The dawn rises.
Just try that again! Get crushed!
This is for you. The sun shines bright.
Take that! Enough!
Fight fire with fire. Watch this. Don't get caught. Here I come.
through, please. There's the sweet spot! Watch this. Get out of here! I'll be the last man standing. Read your every move! Taste my fists! Ah! Fists of fury! This is for you. One more! You've no hope.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Your will bent. Your body broken. Just for you. Magic unleashed. Just for you. Freeze. Read your every move. Stay frosty. This is for you. Can't block this. I'm not about to give up hope. Quell the darkness. Blink once and you're dead.
A toast to your bright future.
Stay frosty! Illuminate the battlefield. One more! Enough! I'll be the last one standing. Fight fire with fire. Chew on this! Chew on this! Nowhere to run! I'll show you the truth. Read your every move! Your will bent, your body broken! Here I come! Can't block this! Let's start playing serious. You will lose.
Be relentless!
This should just stay frosty. Here I come. Got you in my sights. This is for you. I can read your every move. Just for you. This is for you. I will end you. Get out of here!
Fear's looking at you, kid!
I'll be the last man standing. Magic is mine. The sun shines bright. I'm not about to give up hope. Nowhere to run! Rest in peace! Blink once and you're dead. That's better. Read your every move. I'll break your spirit. Light, burn them. I've got this. There's its weak spot.
Just how awesome are you?
I'll break your spirit! There's its weak spot! Let's start playing serious. Here we go!
You're not finished
Not
here
good
yet.
enough. You've no hope. You will lose. I've got you in my sights. Freeze! Take that!
Fists of Fury! One more! I'm not about to give up hope. This isn't over. That's better. One notch for every time I hit you. Say goodbye! Just for you. I won't hold back. This is for you. I'm not interested in you. My power.
You're not done yet.
Time. This is the beginning of your end. Watch this.
Don't get cocky. When I'm done, no one will remember me. I could have beaten them with a nail bat. Possible. I will end you. Here I come. Bad. You bastard!